Hi, welcome back to my channel. Um, Before I say anything, I just wanted to, preface this video with a warning to, I guess, people who are a bit more confused with what they're dealing with. Before any of this, or before if you do decide to, take up any of the tips or I guess ideas that helped me in the past and continue to help me. But before that, you really should figure out what exactly your issue is. I say issue like it's a real problem. It is a real problem that everyone, well, not everyone, that a lot of people have to deal with. If you think you are suffering from depression, I highly recommend going to a therapist or a psychiatrist, whichever one actually is able to prescribe you with medication. If you really truly believe that you are suffering from a form of depression, or maybe anxiety, anything that can hinder you with your art, I do recommend going to a professional to seek help rather than going to YouTube. Although maybe you don't have money and you're in America, in which, hi, welcome to this video. Here are some tips to help you with, I guess, coping with depression in art, which is probably what this video is going to be called. Also, before I even start on this topic, I just wanted to say that I'm not a professional, nor do I claim to be a professional. I never have, I probably never will, unless for some odd reason I go into therapy, which I probably won't, to be honest. But I just wanted to say that because the reason I'm calling this depression in art tips on helping depression and helping to cope with depression instead of like a cure for depression or how to fix depression is because I don't know how to fix depression. I don't know how to cure depression. It's not that simple. If it was, I wouldn't be dealing with these issues, and a lot of other people wouldn't be dealing with these issues. But alas, I'm not a professional, nor do I know how to cure depression, sadly. I just wanted to say this in case some of these tips don't work on you. And some of them might not, because the thing with depression is it varies greatly with people. Some depression can be very debilitating. Almost like your life is over before it's even started. Or, well, that sounds depressing. What I meant to say was, it almost feels like your day is just ended before it's began. Sometimes depression is just a minor thing, like minor depression, where you wind up just feeling a little down in the dumps. Sometimes depression is where you don't even want to leave the bed, and you don't even want to bother with eating, even though you're hungry, even though your body is craving for food. And really, that's why seeking professional help in figuring out how bad it is for you is greatly recommended from me, not for me. For me, maybe. From me, definitely. But anyways, let's actually get onto the topic. I've been mumbling on for 5 minutes already. That's great. Okay, so I guess the first tip to start with is a schedule. Yeah, I've said it already. I'll say it again. A consistent schedule genuinely helps. It does. I sound a bit of a hypocrite saying that a schedule might help, because I haven't exactly kept up with a schedule of any kind. then again, it's very hard to motivate yourself when you're dealing with mental illnesses like depression. But, well, it may be hard to keep a consistent schedule, but that's because it's hard to do a lot of things with depression. The one thing that I had, I guess a professional tell me is that if you trick yourself into starting it even a little bit, not even tricking yourself, if you just make yourself get up off of the bed and sit at your desk and stare at your sketchbook, you will eventually maybe start drawing. If you put on headphones and listen to music, if you go on Instagram and see these beautiful landscapes, maybe you'll be motivated to help yourself and start drawing. That's why whenever I open my laptop, the very first thing that I do is go to a site that I'll be linking in the description of this video, a site that has helped me so much. I think it's Lines of Art, it's a site called, but basically, this is just for me, but this site has helped me so much with posing, with background art, with animals, with facial structure, with just so many things. And I genuinely think that it is underappreciated, and I'm kind of afraid that it might go away. But for the time being, if you are in a rut and you don't know what to draw, this site will help you. I guess another one is, while I'm on the topic of motivating yourself, is, well, basically looking at other art pieces. I'm not kidding. Like, I know there's this stigma in the art community that you have to create an original art piece, but really, it's so helpful to look at other art pieces and gaining inspiration, just like plucking this from an art piece or plucking that from an art piece, picking that pose, but maybe a different outfit from this art piece. And I know it sounds a bit scummy, but it isn't. It really isn't scummy. It's helping you look for motivation, basically, or inspiration. It's basically helping you look for inspiration, because in times of just like in bouts of depression, where your brain just doesn't want to think, it's good to make it think. It's good to make it wonder. And looking at other people's art pieces makes it wonder. I mean, make it wonder as in, say you're looking at an art piece and from your favorite artist, and they've decided this time they're going to draw like a fashion page. What a fashion page is like just like trendy looking outfits and characters that are also trendy looking, and there's just like a bunch of unique poses in there, and you're like, oh my gosh, that looks fucking cool, like I want to draw that outfit. And then you do, and you draw it in an art piece that isn't exactly like that, but you've decided to pluck that art piece, well, not that art piece, well, you've decided to pluck that outfit from that art piece and use it in your own. And some people may say that that's stealing. That's not stealing. No, you're not stealing from an artist by using an outfit that they've decided to draw. It's only stealing if you steal the art piece or if you copy over the art piece like verbatim, such as like tracing or like using it as a base. That's stealing. No, that's a no-no. Don't do that. But well, and that's pretty obvious to not steal from people. Stealing won't motivate you to make your own art. It'll only make you feel shitty. Well, it'll make you feel, I guess, semi-confident in the short term, but when you look at it, it'll become a black spot in art history in the long run. Which leads me to my next thing. A lot of artists have a hard time with color palettes, so why not steal a color palette from an art piece? Well, I guess that's a little bit of a word jumble. You can't really steal an art palette, can you? I mean, you can borrow it from an art piece, or you can copy it from an art piece, but you can't really steal a color palette. So once again, this is very similar to looking at other art pieces. But this one, you don't actually have to look at art pieces. You can look at a picture, you can look at an illustration, you can look at like a selfie, and or even real life, basically. And basically, it's just taking a mood from a picture and applying it to your own. I'm going to put up a few pictures that I've drawn in the recent past, where I just didn't know how to color it. I was just having a very confused time. I was drawing it in a really basic color palette that was really confusing to me, and it just wasn't meshing well. And then when I decided to look for a color palette from another art piece that I knew that would look good for this art piece that I was making, and then I decided to pluck it from the art piece that I was looking for, it just made the art piece like 10 times better. And you may feel bad at first, but at the end of the day, a color palette isn't copyrighted. You can't steal a color palette. Really, these are just a few tips that I know help me. They may not help you in dealing with your issues and everything like that. I just wanted to set like 2 or 3 tips that genuinely help me and may genuinely help you in the future. Thank you for watching. I'm definitely going to be making more videos in the future. It's like 4 in the morning and I sound like a zombie right now. I will see you very soon because I'm going to be making a video literally right after this. Goodbye. I don't know. Oh, right. The picture that I'm drawing right now is of a commission from someone from Twitter, where I am like religiously active on. Like, if you want to see updates from me like every day or every other day, I am literally tweeting on Twitter like nonstop. I post work in progresses all the time. I post just illustrations all the time. It's weird. It's like it's a lot easier to find me on there than it is to find me on here. But expect more from me very soon. Thank you for listening, and genuinely hope that some of these tips are helpful, because boy do I know that depression fucks you up when you least expect it, or when you most expect it, because depression, it ain't a fucking basic bitch. It'll figure out how to fuck you up on the best of times or on the worst of times, because it's the fucking worst. So I hope that this helped you. I hope that you have a great life, and if you do think that you have depression or anything like that, I'm being serious right now, but if you really do think that you have depression, you need to go seek some help, because, well, it's a mental disorder. It can harm you in ways that you might not even think. You may think that right now having depression is, I guess, normal, but really it isn't. It's not normal to hate yourself constantly. It's not normal to not get off of the bed every day. It's not normal. And you're not lazy. No. your brain is just being a stupid little fart idiot. And you know what? That's fucking invalid. Fuck you, brain, for making me feel this way. And fuck you, bed, for being very comfortable. Before I start rambling on even more, I'm going to stop this video because it's already past the 15-minute. Goodbye. I hope I see you soon.